that some of these guys have taken off from where Lincoln have left it. Not all of them, but some of them have collected quite a few. So we go on and see. Yeah. So what is it about these new bands which now all of them do not cover everything, but some of them cover some parts, some of them cover some other parts. So that makes all of them quite interesting and different from each other. One is the sound spectrum has expanded. There are a large variety of sound spectrums and different combinations. In the past, they stuck to typical combinations like so many trumpets, so many reed instruments, so many of their instruments. They were all very similar to each other. But now they have expanded their instruments. They use instruments from across the globe, and there's no hesitation in trying to borrow from other forms of music as well. And there are harmonies. There are different layers of sound in their arrangements. So it makes a nice, pleasurable experience to listen to all of it. And they borrow from genres from across the world. It's not just jazz, which is what their frame is. Their frame covers genres from not only rock and folk and country and so on, but they even take music from different parts of the world. So regional. So altogether it becomes a very different experience. Okay. So I'll take the first band, which is more of a conventional band. Now, post the Ellington era, Wynton Marsalis, who is supposed to be the flag bearer of jazz into the 21st century, he started this band at what is called the Lincoln Center, which is, I think, funded by Coca-Cola. And he assembled his orchestra with modern day musicians, modern day arrangements, and instrumentation which was somewhat conventional. As I said, it's not far away from the older band, but he has given it a more sophisticated sheen. He has tried to make the music appeal to the upper class audience in the US, more sophisticated audience. And he has sax, clarinet, flute, 4 trumpets, 3 trombones, so nothing very different from the old. So let's listen to this track to start with, which has Wayne Shorter. Go ahead. Check.
Scroll down, please. Scroll down.
It worked all right the first time, I'm sorry. big bands and this, you'll notice that all the music here is written. The scores, they're all written for all the musicians, but there is Wayne Shorter who's improvising on top of this written score. Deepak will notice that. He's improvising on top of the written score, and then they are giving space for the pianist to improvise. But basically what's going on behind is a written score, which to the more somewhat sophisticated audience, they are more used to organized music which is not fully improvised, but is written. So it's more pleasing to the ear. So the jazz of today, of these big bands, there's a lot of written music, and there is some scope for improvisation on top. And the written music is simultaneous. That means there is some of the brass instruments and below the reeds. So there are 2 or 3 layers of music which are all written, and then there is this guy improvising.
Especially the harmonies.
Yeah, so there are layers of harmony.
Harmonies, the harmonies.
Yeah, exactly.
If you
Absolutely.
can allow them to
You're right.
also improvise, they can be.
The harmony is layered, there are 3 of those sections which are playing. Yeah, let's move forward. Yeah, now this is another very interesting band called Darcy James Argue. Darcy James Argue is a Canadian, and he's of course all these musicians are schooled, they graduate and then become masters and some do PhD also. And what this guy did, he studied all the big bands of the past. All the great big bands, he studied all of them very well, very closely, all their compositions, their written scores and so on. And then decided to do his own music by borrowing some of the concepts from many of these great big bands of the past. The result was that he's brought out something very innovative, and therefore he's gained recognition all over the world. And if you see some of the remarks there, it stokes suspense with dissonance and pinpoint timing. So there's a certain amount of dissonance, and everything is timed very well. And the next one is Argue brings an outwardly anachronistic ensemble into the 21st century through his ability to combine his love of jazz's past with more contemporary sonics. So it's today's sound, but borrowed from a lot of music from the past. And he avoids obvious imitation. So he's not imitating, he's borrowing and creating his own thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Never, and I mean never, introduce yourself by saying your name.
next album was called Dynamic Maximum Tension. And that title reflects on the music which is composed. And there's an interesting comment there, if you see that there's a legitimate argument to be made that no musician has had a greater influence on modern big band jazz than Darcy James Harvey. He is now a professor of music at Princeton University, which has introduced jazz in its curriculum. Imagine Princeton, a place for maths and science, now music, jazz. Yeah, so, and he has a number of awards. So let's hear this second track of this. Yeah. Oh no, chef.
Fourth time it comes. You're right.
Yeah. snarky puppy. And it's best described as a mix of everything. As the next line says,
It's not a fusion band, it's not a jam band, and take them for what they are rather than judge them for what they are not.
so it's
A little bit of everything in all that they played. And as I had mentioned earlier, they represent the convergence of black and white American music and various accents from around the world. Japan, Argentina, Canada, United. In fact, they have musicians from all across the countries in order to blend the characteristics of each of the music. And then he produces something of his own in his compositions. And he's won 12 awards in a short career of about 7-8 years. So let's listen to the first one. You do a lot of strings, so why?
Music. One,
I think you could close that it comes again. Not close it.
Yeah.
As you learn, my life comes from jobs such as a contact, and sometimes one documenting makes a big smile. I was work clinicians regarded as my responsibility to get it right every single day. I am acrobat has got the same data.
this one.
Play this way.
Next slide.
There we are.
Close that, it's too old. Close that.
Wi-Fi speed. Combination. Wi-Fi. Wait, it's
No, no. Unfortunately, you can't download these, you know. Downloading is not allowed. You can't download.
It's asking for a higher version
Stop. Before you buy this exact product will be cheaper on another store.
move on.
Go to the next band. Now this is yet another example of very different kind of music, but borrowing from traditional American, what they call territory bands, which moved around different states. And he also has borrowed from a lot of rock music like Radiohead and Rolling Stones. And it's not a big band, it's just 9 pieces. See how it sounds.
Great.
What? No Wi-Fi. Number से लिए है ना. Connected to Wi-Fi. What is the number there? What is that? USB stick. USB na. Everything is recorded on that na. USB stick.
No, only the link is recorded. Link has to go on video.
Yes.
Yeah, let's move forward. Now, this is another very interesting band. It's called Monkestra, which is Monk's Orchestra. Now, this is Thelonious Monk's compositions recycled, redone. So, he's done it not just in a big band context, but he's also changed the arrangements and, of course, the instrumentation, and given it different rhythm and tried to create a new sound from the basic composition. So, hang on, not that. So, what I'm going to do is, first, he's playing this famous Monk composition called Little Rooty Tooty, which was written after his little baby, Little Rooty Tooty. I'll first play what Monk played of that composition. After that, I'll play what this guy is doing. So then you'll understand what he's trying to do. Okay.
So this first link is Monk.
Yeah, he's become very popular in a very short time. There's a Britisher called John Beasley. So I think this is the.
चाहे सिंह में आ जाओ सिखा दूंगा प्रेजेंटेशन तुम स्पीड में बैठना है आ जाओ
Yeah, this is the Monk composition. What he's playing about. Now let's see what is Monkestra doing about it. to another band which is led by a guy who used to compose music for cartoons. So you can imagine the kind of music he would have composed and what he thought he could do with a big band. So he's called this band a Big Fat Band. And the sound is also a big fat swinging sound. So let's see how this sounds.
That is smart brand.
बाजार में एक नया साउंड किलो है ये मेडिकल ग्रेड एयर सपोर्ट देता है जो आपकी गर्दन और बीयर्ड को परफेक्ट तरीके से सीधा रखता है Tonight, your sleep in Sports gets big fat band and HBC's Jazz Ensemble that celebrates the best of the big band tradition. Give it up, Gordon Goodman, Big Band Band!
Let's move on. So you'll see the common thread that all the bands across, the music is largely written for different sections, and then you have the guy improvising on top of that the music. and even the guy who's improvising, his instruments are not, there's a baritone sax one and there's a soprano sax, so there are different kinds of instruments which are used for improvising. Yeah, now here's a very interesting lady, Maria Schneider. She was an assistant to Gil Evans, who was responsible for Miles Davis' Birth of the Pool. And from there, she's grown to become one of the most popular big band leaders. Once again, she has very unusual instrumentation, and she's played in over 30 countries, taught at universities. She has 30 Grammy nominations, and she scored for that movie Color of Money with Paul Newman. Yeah. And she's an activist for musicians, musicians' rights, and she's filed a lot of class action suits against YouTube. Yeah, because of which now you can't download and you can't, you just have to listen. Yeah. And she's, if you see her, she's a wisp of a girl, you know. I met her at that club, Visiones, and she had an instrument which was I don't know what the instrument is called, but it was something like a trombone, which was reading the height of the ceiling, that long, and it had a huge bass sound, and it was a part of the ensemble which was playing there in that club, along with all the other brass instruments. So, a very dynamic lady, very imaginative. Let's hear one of her tracks. I think if you take that thing there, there's a better chance of it.
The issue belongs to what?
Not that.
Ashwin?
Here.
Your instrument belongs to the part of the instrument that our instrument belongs to the all this club.
In a club, imagine she brought it as
Club in New York. Not in the house. In that club, that club was had a long bench. There people would sit along the bench, like in a hostel, and face the band. The band was about 15 feet wide and all packed together in 2-3 layers for 20-piece orchestra. With that one fellow in the corner sitting with an instrument as well. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of him.
which is
this music is better appreciated.
If you listen to it on a good sound system with your headphones and all the good sounds in the hall, this is no place to
Listen to it. So, at best, you can consider this an exposure to whatever I'm telling you. Where you are interested, you could. I'll give you at the end of the session, I'll give you the tracks which I've selected. And once you listen to them on headphones, I assure you, it's worth listening.
We'll go on the notes of the
Yeah, you all know about Charles Mingus. So Mingus died very early, and before he died, he was a prolific composer. So a large number of compositions were left behind, and these were picked up by his wife, Sue Mingus, who then formed what was called the Mingus dynasty, which in fact played in India. And when she brought his ashes to be dropped in the Ganges. Yeah. That's why she came here, and then she brought the band and they played. And then the Mingus Big Band also came last year when we went to Bombay. So this band has become extremely popular. He uses Mingus's original arranger who used to arrange all the scores for him. And they've got two Russians, Alex Spiaglin, who's today leading that band, and earlier Boris Kozlov, another Russian who was a bass player. So both these guys have been carrying this band forward, the Russians. And let's listen to them. It's really good.
Trial and error development.
As usual, my wonderful voice can't say, we'd like to feature for ourselves on a piece that we recorded on Google Electric developing some of those pieces. It's called Ancient Science, or Science.
He's playing Mingus's original bass.
Looks like shisha.
This is one of those contemporary Cuban Latin jazz orchestras, led by a guy called Arturo O'Farrell, whose father was a great Latin jazz band leader, and he has taken over and brought in a new color to the whole orchestra. His son is also a great musician, so both grandfather, son, grandson are all great musicians. Yeah. called the Fire Orchestra, and this orchestra was best described by him rather than by me or anybody else. So listen to what he has to say.
Making it popular in and waste it. Copy and paste it. Yeah.
Wait, how is Moonlight?
I don't know, but he literally uses Excel.
I mean, the whole idea is fire, the trio, me, one of this. And so we do the music, we come up with ideas, with the basic riffs, with the structure, we have like a record score, I do all this production shit, you know. And with 28 people, or 30 that we are with the two engineers, you need to have some kind of structure, you can't just let it go for free. Then it turns into something very different. And if you want something uncontrolled, you just let everything move. But we want something that is
Is it good? It's okay.
basically the dream, but extremely extended, you know. There's a lot of people in jazz from creatures, and there's a lot of people in the rock scene, there's electroacoustic musicians, there's live electronic stuff. It's people coming from all kinds of music, so we like to make use of all the forms, but not make it distinct. That's a trick too. We use elements, but not we can't do everything. We have to. That's also a trick. When we compose this, we have to deal with stuff. Like I focus on this and make that good instead of doing the whole thing. I don't really like to put a label on what kind of music we do, because that also limits people in how they listen to music. So if you say, we play free jazz, 28 people, oh no, that's why people like, I can't be in jazz. And that's what happens when we play, because we have a lot of audiences coming to check out, like Steve Wilson from Liverpool, or Martin Hill, who plays the soundtrack of our lives, and blah blah blah, or US Philharmonic with the, like the jazz superstars. And then they get this, you know, and I think you shouldn't tell the audience what it is. It's fire orchestra, we do fire orchestra music. So laser music is always, it takes more limitations than the thing does. You know, of course, it's very attached to jazz, what we do, but it's also very attached to rock, what we do. And whatever song you want, it's what it is. It's a living organism.
Yes, Sangeeta. I think we'll, what the European bands are getting late, so let me take you to this band, the Frankfurt Radio Jazz Orchestra. Yeah. Like they work there.
What's happening? Why?
preferred ideal jazz audience. They had come to Pune about 6-7 years ago and played in some outdoor place.
2015.
Yeah, and all that, throughout the concert, they played very unusual rhythms, something like this. It was not Indian based like this, but all of them were very out of the way rhythms. And there's something unusual about this story here, I'll tell you. Rudresh, as you know, played at Shisha, Mehdi, and that drummer, Dan Weiss, also came along with him. Dan Weiss also is a brilliant tabla player, but he was making a trip to India for the first time because the tabla he learned was all learned in the US and not coming to India and learning. So a week before this concert was to take place, Frankfurt, Rudresh called me and said, "Listen, my two Indian musicians, the same guys, I forget his name, aren't getting visas. I don't know what to do." I said, whom have they contacted? He said, they contacted some travel agent and he's not able to get it. So I said, tell them to go to the embassy directly and appeal to them saying they are invited for this public concert by a well-known band in Frankfurt and they have to give them visa. So these fellows went to the embassy and managed to get the visa. And he said they landed in Frankfurt just a few hours before the concert was due. And landed in the place that what you hear playing. They landed there directly and started, no rehearsal, nothing. Yeah, so that's what you do. Yeah, amazing, you know. Like, fortunately, the score, everything was written, so they didn't need much of a rehearsal. They could play straight off the bat. Yeah, let's move on. I think it's already 8, well, just be hungry. So, I'll play. I have music from Japan, UK, that was German, there were 3 German bands. I'll play one band from Japan which shows how, true to the Japanese nature of being precise and perfect in whatever they do. Listen to this band, it's so tight. Playing a famous composition. Americans. Black North.
Precision.
Yeah, let's move on. I'll play one last one. This is the brilliant British musician.
Yes,
Which I wish I could play it, but I want to play this young Spanish band which is comprising virtually children and teenagers. See how well they play.
Never, and I mean never, introduce yourself by saying your name.